Feel the cantonase.
Select the order.
One of the things I wanted to see was if I could get just make certain moves useful, just things you never see, or like I guess like gimmicky things like you usually don't find used too much. So I posted about this earlier. So I wanted to go ahead and just show you a little bit. So generally, when you're looking for like full screen carries, you would do stuff like this, and then you have a specific and I do think it is still better, but I was able to find some stuff that was kind of cool. So from the very end here, I'm just going to go ahead and make them and just so you can see like meter gain and stuff. Let's set the meter where it needs to be. Alright, so generally, we do good combos and we try to get the first turn to it. So, no drive use, but you are able to do something. Or like if you wanted to use your drive, you can do it. So, you get pretty far, but you're not really, you don't really gain much for it. And honestly, it just isn't worth it that way. So I was trying to think of ways you could use moves that this move is like almost never used. The EX outfits. Generally you'll just do this. But after a little research, what you can actually do is you can actually if you can run right, you can actually run up and get a light pickup. You're actually able to continue to run. If you look, there's a lot more meter gain, and where you're actually placed here is prime spot for corner control. Not necessarily corner pressure, but control. He's going to be in the corner, you're going to be about right here. At this point, even with this character, you're able to control the corner space. And that's full screen, so this is kind of like a little recap of that. I'm all the way in the corner. All the way in the corner right now. So he's in the corner, and then you're in that corner. You're in the prime spot for corner control. Basically, you can kind of hang back and let him, hang. The other thing about this combo, is if you're not in the corner, you're a little bit closer. You can actually get full corner view. So if you look, that's the meter gain from it. So you gain nearly your full bar off just your stance. Another thing too, if you go from lows, you still gain pretty much that amount. So no matter what, you still gain a meter, a little bit less damage, but you gain 328 off your crash boost, so still pretty good. The other nice thing too is from a if you land a jump in and do it. Heavy up to that. I'm trying to make a video and show you guys. It also does the damage. And that's like max. I guess that's going to be considered quote unquote max damage for this. But if you get off a jump in, you actually gain more than your ball. So it's definitely something that's cool because you're able to use a little bit better meter gain to get yourself in a prime position. I would say probably if you're like player 1 starter far, like a little bit farther, probably about here. Yeah, like once you get there, at that point you're just gonna have to run grab Or you could also do heavy reverse kick if you really want. You can also do this. I mean, that puts you in the corner. I just don't. You can do that. The biggest thing I don't like about it is, depending on how much damage, like if you're doing the damage to kill and you do that, you know, and they were really close to dying, you still get the meter when they die. So I feel like it's just better to get the damage, like get your damage that way. You also lose a little bit of damage. You lose like 12 points, and I feel like you might as well. You still have a position in the red. So I mean, you still have the position. You're pretty much in the corner anyways. You get more damage, and I think the meter gain is exactly the same, or maybe like just enough less where it kind of justifies going for that instead of plus it's just a little bit easier if you know it's gonna work. And you're really close to the corner regardless of where you start on the screen. That's pretty much the video. That's going to be pretty much the video. I definitely wanted to just come up with something cool, and I was able to find out what that cool thing was. I think I've seen videos where like you can do like this, but where you can get some crazy stuff while you get this, and then you like and then you do that, and then you can actually like re-hop into a cross-up into HD or whatever the combo may be. And stuff like that's cool, but like as you just saw, I didn't even know where I was going to be. And I feel like if you're going to run, the likelihood you're really going to have the execution knowledge and know exactly where they're going to fly is pretty ridiculous. And I think if you just go for the combo, you're just a much better, you're in like better shape for that. And that's the other nice thing about this combo too, you know, like it's not really too hard to do. The running and uppercutting is kind of hard, but it's not really really hard to do. You can even like delay it a little bit and get pretty decent damage. Mid-screen, 365, one bar, one drive. It's actually pretty good. And the other nice thing about this combo is since you're using your bar so early in the combo, you are pretty well off the game. It's like you can do stuff like this, right? You get what, like 334, and you don't use the drive. So, but the nice thing about this is you can still gain your bar back. So you know, you're not really like screwing stuff off the game. I'm still working on the combo, just like getting a little bit more consistent. It's not an easy combo by any means. I don't think this is definitely something that is I feel like if it's pretty late game now, a lot of guys aren't going to be doing, you know, crazy stuff, you know, with drive mid-screen with kill. I do think using the drive mid-screen is kind of not really needed, but at the same time, I feel like it shouldn't be dismissed. It definitely should be looked into just to be able to get this stuff. There are some characters in this game that can get, you know, by mid-screen with using a drive. So I feel like it's just one of those things where it can just help you out. The other nice thing about it too is even though I think this is harder than like HD combos, if you aren't a huge HD combo guy, this is just like another way to look at combos. Like if you're not using your bar for HD too often, then you know what are you gonna do with it? You know? Just one thing, just a little bit extra. Damage isn't too bad for one bar, one drive. Considering what it also gives to you. Like here, like the fact that this is a corner combo, corner control, and you don't lose your full bar. So that's also really good too. The other nice thing too about the ES upkicks is every now and then, I don't know how much you guys really pay attention, but sometimes this happens where when you're far away, oh well, here, actually this is better. You're far away, sometimes that kick whips, and it is a pain in the ass, because like if you're far enough away where it whips, I was just close enough. finger right here. You're just far enough to... No, it's not. I hate it once I'm trying to do this. It's like... I'm trying to make this sense. I mean, you saw it earlier. You saw that it exists. I'm gonna get this thing. Okay, there we go. It's just better to do off dodge. The reason I'm having issues, I don't want that to happen. Because, like... I mean, I guess that will go too. So, like, if you end up getting like this and you can confirm, if you have sub kick really far forward compared to the regular, and I feel like that is also really nice. It was always kind of useful, but because there was never the combo application for it, I just feel like, oh, hey, look, new use for this move. Because here it whips, you know, like once you're a little far away. But if you do the double kicks, it can continue, and you're able to, you know, anywhere on the screen that you are, you're able to convert, and even you know, reach further, you know, get further possibilities from. So it's something to keep in mind. Like, honestly, when you guys see this in tournament, like, you guys might see me use this in tournament a couple times, just so I can just do it. But at the same time, I don't see it being... It's one of those things where it's like, even me personally, it's like, I feel like it has limited use. It has a very limited use, and I just don't feel like it really... I was about to say, if I can keep doing going, I didn't think I would. But, like, it's just one of those things that, oh, you're over 50% of the screen away? Cool, let's go ahead and keep going. We can keep the jugglers in. Biggest reason why is, like, if you're this far away, you can actually get the corner combo and not have to go far. Like, once you're, like, player 2 start position, you can get all your combos. But once you're, like, half screen, you like, once you're half screen, and it's like, yeah, you can do run grab, but it's like, oh, what if you want to do skill for some damage? I would definitely say the one important thing is you don't want to be too low when you're giving the uppercut, but you also want to make sure it's a little bit low. It gives you a chance to cancel a little bit better. It gives you a chance to cancel a little bit better, but the other nice thing too is if they're higher, then you're hitting a jump free. Like this is probably not. Like at that point, you know, you want to go for either run grab or just after you get that, you can get ahead of it. Yeah, that's like a good habit, because that's good. Great juggle. But yeah, that's pretty much the combo I found. You know, I found it today, and I was like, oh no, nobody here plays regular kill, so who's gonna really benefit from this? I was actually messing around with it even more, so I was wondering like, what you can actually use like the you know, stuff like that. I just figured it's kind of cool. Just like kind of cool stuff. Actually, that probably would work better half screen too. Thank you. I got it up a little bit, but kind of explain so you're able to do, you know, full combo here. So that's actually kind of cool. I didn't really think about that. That's awesome. One bar, no drive, half screen combo. I like that. But yeah, it's just one thing that's, you know, gets pretty creative, and I feel like a lot of like top players will do if they have to do it, is they get creative. And the thing is, like, you're not always gonna be in a position where you can just, you know, like if you're this far away, just to be able, you're not always gonna have the meter to just, not changing my sheet. You're not always going to have the meter to be like your 75%, you know, HD combo. So, but, you know, if you can do that, if you can like, so let's say you're playing this character, and, you know, you learn this combo. Like me, I'm still learning this combo. I figured it out, but I'm still learning. Like, I'm still trying to get this down pat, so that way I can do it maybe one day in a tournament, like a big tournament, like combo breaker. I'll be a combo breaker. So just, you know, this is one of those things where it's like, it's time to get creative. Like, one thing that happened to me at a Winter Showdown, I was playing against this guy playing Shen. It was actually on stream, but the thing was, he was hopping like this, and I actually did that, and then I didn't have enough HD left. But here's the thing, so I did this, but he was jumping, and I did that into this. Okay, that's pretty much what happened. But if I would have thought about it when this happened, this very situational thing that happened, it doesn't happen, you don't get this too often. But if I would have thought about it, I could have gotten this, and that, and it would have killed him instead of not killing him, and then I ended up losing the match. Because I just didn't, like, I could have easily did that, and that would have killed him. Look at that, did 410 damage, it easily would have killed him. Because you have, like, picks and front compared to just doing this. Like, that was just, like, a ridiculous amount of more damage that happened. So it's always nice to look into creative outlets, not just your like prime situation. Like, you know, you guys saw, like, if you do the jump in, you gain the full bar. But maybe I'm not gonna do the jump in, so might not happen. So it's good to know. It's also good to know, like, your damages and stuff outside of, you know, jump heavy punch, stand hard punch, blah blah blah. Because you're not gonna always get the prime opportunity. Like, it's not gonna happen. Actually, this is a good way to practice this. But that would have been too low. I would have definitely. But the thing is, you're not always gonna have the prime opportunity. So you will just, if you can find your way to use your meter and things in a more open fashion, I feel like you're better off. Even though it might not be optimal, and this is definitely not optimal, I feel, but at the same time, it's like, you know, Buck says, that little bit of damage, like what, like 31 more points of damage? That can be a match than just doing, you know, this, like just doing this. Like, it could be that much more. I use a little bit extra drive, but hey, I got corner control, I got corner control, I got meter gain too, so it's like less of a resource that I really use. So this is one of those things. And I just wanted to definitely upload this video. I eventually am going to get like a stream layout on something here soon. Probably some other screens, some other screen setups. I'm not good with art, so I don't trust myself for it. But it's definitely something to think about. Just ways to expand how you look at the game, how you play it, your combos. Obviously, better characters will probably have, you know, some more creative. Select your character. But there are, you know, crazy things you can do. I actually recently found this one, with Shen as well. Found this also out of Winter Showdown. So it was crazy. To me, it was nuts. I was like, what in the world? This is insane. Because I'm just, normally, you know, you see a combo being done, you're just like, oh, this is the way to do it. Not necessarily. Sometimes you can do things to catch people off guard. For example, I found this one. Nathan, pay attention. Found this one. Like, the thing is, like, you found, like, things like that. And it's like, sometimes, here's the thing, though. That reset left me at a specific spot. Like, actually, you know what? Forget it. I'm not even going to do that. I'll just go on that. So, like, this reset here left me at a specific spot. This is also kind of hard to do. I saw ChrisKOF. Oh, you don't have to do that. But if you look at that, right, we're really far away. Same thing if you do like the regular combo. Like if you just end with either a super. If you have a super, actually, I think you get in a better position. Yeah, you're like in that. So and that's kind of interesting. but you're using it on the bar. This is more like, oh, I'm just going to use my one bar, and still keep, well, actually, that doesn't even work. So that's right, I forgot. You have to do, if you do the two, all you get is either the hard kick or you get the. You actually, the other thing too is you gotta kind of button hold this combo. You get that? You can get that, but normally that wouldn't even work out. You have to use a super if you do the two up punches. So you can either get the hard kick, which also is really good, or you do this. And look, I'm actually like right here, and this is a mix-up because then it's like, oh, you should get it. Also, David, practice that. You can whiff cancel all. You can whiff cancel all CDs. So all these CDs. If you're really good though, you can actually essentially car your command at. And this is really good. I'm doing that specifically for you. I know you've seen it at least once. Definitely should work on that because that is super good. But the other thing is, look, right here, bam. This is like stand B range, like just outside of crouch B range too. You know, this is definitely a good harassable spot. You have your armor CD. You can also do a lot of things going. And since it's a reset, they gotta keep looking. They have to keep on their toes. They're not able to just relax like a hard knockdown. They kind of can relax, wait to get up and block. You know, this isn't that situation. But that's some new stuff I found from Winter Showdown. So definitely, I hope that everybody checks out this video, and I hope that everyone, even if you're not going to learn something very specific with the character, that you realize that, you know what, this game is very creative in its combo system, and you open your mind a little. And if you're not good enough to know about the combos, I know there's a lot of you guys who are still beginners. It's also something to just open your eyes in general. You can still apply this to neutral game, to basic neutral game and things like that. Sooner or later, I'm definitely gonna. I can stream now, but I'm gonna try to make a schedule. Maybe I'll do some very specific, like tutorial streams for certain characters, like basic combos and stuff like that. For you guys to practice. All right, guys, catch you later.